Welcome to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, lifetime member of the National Corvette Museum, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 45 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. And be sure to visit the Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join our Corvette Today Facebook group there as well. Also, make sure you sign up for the Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at CorvetteToday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube as well. And be sure to patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, MidEngineCorvetteForum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of fellow Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at MidEngineCorvetteForum.com. Soul Performance Products. Developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvette. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit Aerolarri.com. That's AEROLARRI.com. And use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Ciocca Corvettes. If you're a Corvette enthusiast, and I know you are since you're listening and watching Corvette Today, then you need to know about Ciocca Corvette. They're based in Atlantic City, where you can find over 100 new and pre-owned vets on the lot and inbound. Ciocca also ships Corvettes all over the country, custom ordered to your specifications. They're staffed with experienced pros who can answer all your questions. So don't compromise. Visit CioccaCorvette.com. That's CIOCCA Corvette.com and find out more. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. E5 Wheels. E5 Wheels is a passionate and dedicated wheel company that serves only Corvette. They make spun-forged wheels for your C8, C7, and C6 Corvette. With the best fitment in the industry, E5 Wheels ensures your wheels complement the aesthetics and functionality while optimizing the performance of your Corvette. Visit e5wheels.com or call them at 305-964-7429. And a shout out to Canadian Corvette Forum and Corvette Forum, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. A personal friend of mine and a great friend of the show, John Kraman, TV host of the Mecum Auctions, is back on Corvette Today to give us a preview of the largest Mecum show of the new year, Mecum Kissimmee. John, it's great to have you back on Corvette Today, buddy.
Man, it is my pleasure. You know, I just have to give you so much credit, Steve, for just the significance of Corvette Today. As a lifelong Corvette fan, as you know, you and I are friends as well. Owner of 3 Corvettes myself. Your show really is the gold standard, really, for getting up-to-date information. The relationships that you have made over the years with virtually everybody in the Corvette community really pays off for all of us that are Corvette nuts. For me to be included on your show from time to time, it is my pleasure and something I really look forward to, my friend. Thanks for having me, buddy. Always, buddy.
It's an honor and a pleasure. You're always welcome on Corvette Today. You just let me know when you can be there and you're on. Well, buddy, let's talk about Mecum Kissimmee. Give me some dates, the venue, the location, the times, the weekdays, and where you can buy tickets.
Yeah, you know, it's really crazy, Steve. Over the years, since 1988, Mecum Auctions has grown to be the world's largest collector car auction by far. But its flagship, now going into our 26th year in Kissimmee, Florida, which is actually Orlando. Location over the years has changed. It's now our permanent home is Osceola Heritage Park. They've done a lot of work there to accommodate what we do, where we host, in fact, the world's single largest collector car auction. This year, Steve, it's going to run 13 days straight, almost 2 weeks straight.
Wow.
It goes January 7th through the 19th. Our target, as far as total number of consignments, are you sitting down? About 4,500 cars. As of this morning, I checked in with the consignment department for an up-to-date number on where we're at. About 3,500 cars already consigned.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And just to put the icing on the cake and let everybody know just how big and important this auction was, we go back to Mecum Kissimmee 2024. That would be January of this year, where we celebrated 25 years of auctions in Kissimmee by Mecum. We did $270 million in the sale of collector vehicles. No auction company in the world before or since that has even come close to that kind of a number. And hold your breath, cross your fingers. We're looking at exceeding that number, as we typically like to do. We keep resetting our targets as we move into the new year. Crazy, man.
That's awesome, buddy. Now, if somebody can't make it down to Orlando, Kissimmee, where can they watch it on TV?
They can watch it on TV. We'll be on Motor Trend with our normal crew, myself as the lead TV commentator analyst. Can you believe it, man? Starting my 18th year.
Mazel tov.
In the hot seat. Yeah, thanks, buddy. And then with, of course, Scott Hoke is my host, and then 3 great floor reporters, Bill Stevens, Danielle Trotta, and Chris Jacobs. Everybody knows Chris from Overhauling, and he's a great guy. Really proud of this team and the way we bring the action accurately and with relevance to our viewers. And again, man, 18 years of doing it as a lifelong car guy. What an honor and a thrill it is for me. I mean, I'm a Corvette guy and a muscle car guy and a 50s car primarily, but we see everything literally from A to Z there. So we kick off 30 hours of television on Motor Trend TV. We also stream on Max, HBO Max. That kicks off on January 9th. The auction does start January 7th. So we'll have plenty of action, plenty of ways for folks to watch if they can't make it. And then there's always go to Mecum.com and watch the streaming service. Now, it's not the TV show. There's no commentary or any of that, but you see the auction, you hear the auctioneer, you see the cars, you see descriptions of the cars, you see multiple camera views, and most importantly, you hear the bidding up to the point whether what the high bid is or whether the vehicle sells. Steve, that's 100% free. It's got gavel-to-gavel action. All you got to do is go to Mecum.com, log into your My Mecum account, which is totally 100% free. You just need to put in your email address, and boom, you are in our system and are able to watch the streaming service gavel to gavel, in addition, obviously, to what we do on the television side.
Buddy, I love watching that. If you're not on Motor Trend, I'm watching on Mecum.com.
Right, me too.
The only thing we're missing is you and Scott and everybody else, but it's always fun to watch it if you're not on Motor Trend TV or on Max.
Right on, brother.
Let's talk about the history of Kissimmee. How many cars you've got consigned right now? I know you said you're at 3,500. What's your target for Kissimmee?
Well, we always put an aggressive target. We always raise the bar. And just because we put a target or a number out there doesn't mean that either we're going to hit it or it's possible we could go over it. We just set a target. So for Mecum Kissimmee 2025, the published target of number of consignments is a record whopping 4,500 cars.
Wow.
We've never set a target like that before. But as of today, and we're still quite a ways out, as of today, we are just a few cars over 3,500 entries. And we know from history that the last 30 days of our massive consignment department, they're literally in a process of working overtime to get everybody into that auction that wants to participate. So certainly we're going to be well north of 4,000, and we may even be very close to our aggressive target at 4,500.
Amazing. How many years have you guys been doing Mecum Kissimmee?
Well, keep in mind, Mecum has been in business since 1988. This is our 26th year in Kissimmee. And it's funny, Steve, how it's grown to be our single largest auction. And we do a lot of internal reflection on why that is. Why is Kissimmee so big? And we've got venues, as you know, all over the country. We do about 16 auctions a year, and we make it convenient for everybody who wants to buy or sell or spectate at a Mecum auction from a location standpoint. But there's something very special about Central Florida in January. after the holidays where we're getting multiple demographics. Now, we know there's a lot of folks in Florida that are car folks, Mecum fans. So we've got a pretty strong built-in car nut population there. But what's astonishing is so many people come from two of our biggest areas. They come down from the Northeast and they come down from the Midwest in droves. And I'm not kidding. They bring their families. They bring motorhomes. They come down for a couple weeks. They come here as part of a vacation plan with obviously all the things there is to do with kids and grandkids and everything else. So it's evolved as time goes on. It's evolved into a major automotive happening. The crowds, the layout, the volume of the cars, the quality of the cars, just the overall general excitement of Mecum Kissimmee. Honestly, Steve, must be experienced to be believed. It is a celebration of the automobile extraordinaire. And once somebody goes and they experience the magic of it, the excitement of it, it's something that they want to go to every year.
Absolutely. I know I came last year, had such a blast. We're coming back down again this year for Corvette Day on Friday, January 10th. We're going to have Corvette Today and a meet and greet with me and Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. So that'll be fun.
Oh, man. So glad to have you, brother. So glad.
I'm looking forward to it. Just like you said, Florida in January sounds pretty darn good, John.
Indeed.
Tell me about consigning a car for Mecum Kissimmee and how you can either consign or become a buyer.
Right. It is very straightforward. Over time, we've streamlined and made our consignment and our bidder process very easy and seamless. And I think, Steve, part of that comes from the fact that going back to the originator, back to 1988, Dana Mecum had a vision to have a collector car auction company. He's still our president, heavily involved in our company today. His four sons are involved and all have very prominent roles in the management of our company as well. But my point is, it's a family organization and it's a Midwest-based organization. Our corporate offices in Walworth, Wisconsin. I say that to sort of make the beginning to answer your question of we're very trusting. We believe in honor and doing business on a handshake. So we make it very simple for folks to either sign up as a bidder or sign up as a consignor. We'll start with the consignor process first because that's really what we are, Steve. We're a consignment machine. Nothing at all happens within our Mecum organization without getting the inventory, the consignments, having, the food on the shelves at the grocery store, so to speak.
Right.
So very simple. You've got basically one of two choices. It's very easy to go online, look at all the data and the entry information that's online. There's a form you can fill out online that's very straightforward about your car and the information of it, and you send that in and get an immediate response back. Or even better, my personal individual preference is to call and talk to somebody within our consignment department, which are spring-loaded at all time to take folks' calls. And, the conversation typically revolves around one of two things. Number one, no shocker, what's my car worth?
Yeah.
And number two, what auction do I bring it to? And so the good news is the consignment department being full-time and heavily experienced and knowledgeable on how to talk to folks about their cars, how to help them look at what the value of the car might be realistically, what we think would be a realistic target, a reserve price, which we are a reserve auction where folks are able to put a protected or reserve price, or they can sell no reserve. They have options. And I'll talk about that in the commission structure here in just a few moments. Big decisions. I just have to tell you, it's low pressure. Nobody is pressured into it at all. And I'll tell you why. Selling a collector vehicle or a collection, more about collections in a moment, selling a vehicle is an emotional decision. We get that. And not everybody, when they first contact us, are ready to sell their car or cars that they've had for a long period of time. We understand that and we get that. And we never try to talk somebody out of selling their car. They have to make that personal decision on their own. But once they've made that decision, Steve, once they've crossed over and they've decided, yes, I either want or need to sell the car, that's when we go into high gear. And that's when we kind of shift people over into our, what we call our hot list, where we need to make sure that we're providing as much information as we can to that potential consignor so that he feels comfortable understanding all the nuances of, I guess we'll call it all the pluses and minuses of consigning the car and actually bringing it to the auction. So here's how it works. Very simple. You can sign a car to Mecum Auctions. You pay an entry fee. You pay a set fee. And the set fee depends on the auction, the day, actually the time of the day, and the value of the car. And we do that because we call it inventory management. We want to make sure that we've got positions available that are affordable for folks of a collector car of all values. We talk a lot about the high-end cars, and you and I are going to talk a bit about that here in just a few moments.
Sure.
Some of the moments where we really rang the bell on cars, some of the upcoming cars coming to Kissimmee that are really expensive. But the reality is, the average price of a car that we sell at a Mecum auction is about $52,000. That's kind of in the affordable sweet spot, which meaning there's plenty of cars under that number. Entry fees start at $350 to get your car into the auction, and they go all the way up to $1,500 with some steps in between that. And you get different things. You get different things for those different steps. All that, of course, is explained on the website and from a consignment agent. So you pick your day and your time based on the value of the car. You pay the entry fee, and boom, you are in the auction. The second level of fees that get incurred are if the vehicle sells. And it's simple. If it sells, the gavel drops, we sell your car, we collect 10% of the hammer price. If it does not sell on the block, we sell about 70% of the cars on the block, by the way, then you just take your vehicle home. Or it still may sell. We have what's called the bid goes on process, which is 6 guys full-time that are there that continue to work that roughly 30% of vehicles that don't sell on the block. And that represents about another 10% of our sales.
Wow.
That could be the same day, the next day, 3-4 days later. But bottom line is, if it doesn't sell, you just take your vehicle home. You've not signed over the title. You've done nothing at all to mar the ownership of your vehicle. It's kind of like bringing it to a car show.
Yeah.
You showed it off. You've given it a shot. No harm, no foul. You take it home, and everybody lives to see another day. So it's a very straightforward, easy to understand process. I mentioned no reserve. All of those variables are the same with no reserve, with one big exception. Instead of that 10% fee that you pay, we only collect a 6% fee on a vehicle or a collection that goes no reserve, absolute sale. It takes a lot of soul searching. It's a lot of money, especially if you've got an expensive car or a big collection. A lot of money to be saved by going no reserve. And again, that's a strategy best discussed with the consignment agent. You and I could do a whole show on just that topic alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And buddy, for me watching so many Mecum shows on television, I noticed that a lot of cars are sold over the phone or over the internet. Talk about that, because that's very prominent now with your auctions.
Right. Ever since the pandemic, our online bidding has exploded, and we've got a very good program set up to allow somebody to we call it absentee bidding, but it's either via telephone or by the internet. Pre-pandemic, it only used to represent somewhere between 3 and 5% of our total bidding activity was on either the telephone or the internet. But what's happened is, with the pandemic and with us actually fine-tuning and improving our hardware and our software to make it a more seamless experience, the participation is in the 20 to 25% range.
Wow.
So a lot of our bidders are really anxious to take advantage of that. We're accommodating that. And I think it's important, Steve, I'm glad you asked that question, because we know that there's auction companies out there that are operating online only. The reality is we think that the excitement of a live auction, but also being able to offer the online opportunity as well as telephone opportunities, gives us a greater depth. We're still obviously playing on our passion of the excitement of a live auction, a televised live auction, even better. But yet for those folks that either don't want to come or can't come, we make it good for them as well. We feel like it's the best of all worlds. And with the kind of growth, frankly, Mecum Auctions has seen consistently over the years, I think that our strategy is really, really working well. Not bragging, but it is what it is, brother.
Yeah, it's really working well, because I watch and you see so many people buying over the phone or on the internet. It's really become an integral part of every Mecum auction.
Yes, indeed.
Buddy, let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about highlights from the Mecum auction for 2024. That's coming up next on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome will take your Corvette to new levels. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. Durability is a defining feature of the Wheelcraft finish. Their PVD chrome is superior to traditional chrome, with a finish that is brake dust resistant and cleans effortlessly with soap and water. Wheelcraft offers factory wheel exchange for select C4 through C8 models, or they can apply the PVD finish to your current wheels. No matter what generation you own, Wheelcraft will transform the look of your Corvette. With every Corvette comes a unique story, and Wheelcraft has embraced this idea. When you purchase your new set of wheels, you receive a lifetime membership to the Wheelcraft Pit Crew, granting you access to your own page on Wheelcraft's website, where you can post pictures and tell your Corvette story. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
Hey, Corvette lovers, this is Brian Sarr from IntelliSense Family Office. You formerly known us as True Wealth & Company. First off, a huge congratulations to Steve Garrett on celebrating 5 amazing years of Corvette Today. We've been proud sponsors every mile of the way. You know the thrill and drive and the pride of ownership, but here's the big question. Do you have the same confidence in managing your wealth? At Intellisense Family Office, we specialize in helping high net worth individuals like you protect, grow, and enjoy their wealth. Whether you're a successful entrepreneur, a professional athlete, or someone who's worked hard to achieve your financial goals, we've got you covered with personalized expert advice. We understand the unique challenges you face and the dreams you have for the future. From advanced tax planning to succession planning, we provide comprehensive services tailored to your needs. Our goal? To give you peace of mind so you can focus on what you love. Ready to take your financial management to the next level? Visit Intellisense.com or reach out to us today at 913-653-8783. Let's drive your financial success together. I'm Brian Sarf, and I look forward to helping you live the dream. Save the wave and see you on the road. Investment advisory services offered through Intellisense Investment Solutions Incorporated, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Rev up your ride with the ultimate upgrade. The Radiator Grill Store is your go-to destination for top-notch C8 Corvette Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray accessories. Elevate your style with custom-painted engine bay covers, sleek front splitters, and side skirts that scream sophistication. Keep your C8 protected with premium Radiator Grill screens. Stand out from the crowd at car shows and beyond. Use code CT10 for an exclusive 10% discount off your total purchase at radiatorgrillstore.com. Don't miss out on turning heads. Upgrade your Corvette today.
For the best in CB Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray aftermarket carbon fiber replacement components and body kits, check out RacingSportConcepts.com or call 1-800-815-3751. Tell them Steve sent you to save 10% with coupon code Corvette Today.
This is the Corvette Today podcast with Steve Garrett.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. It's the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. I know you want your Corvette looking its best. Dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty too. So visit wheelcraft.com today or just give them a call. 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my pal, John Kraman from the Mecum Auctions. We're talking about everything Mecum Kissimmee. John, 2024 has been a record year for the Mecum Auctions. Talk about the shows that you've done this year, how many cars have been sold, and what's Mecum's revenue number again?
Well, the good news is, Steve, again, I mentioned earlier, $270 million, a new record at our Mecum Kissimmee auction, which kicks off our new calendar year. Our fiscal year ends the end of February. So if we go back to last year, so this would be our target that we're looking forward to in the new year, this would be post Kissimmee 2025, by the way, was $785 million in the sale of collector vehicles. Now, let me just say that includes collector vehicles and includes everything that we do at a Mecum auction, which also includes what we call road art. That's our memorabilia department. But that's a massive part of what we do because so many car collectors love memorabilia. They love to dress their man caves and garages up and have a much more affordable piece to take home with them at a Mecum auction. So we load Mecum auctions up with a ton of that stuff. It's a great service. But $785 million is going to be our sales rate from last year. We're going to know the new number, obviously sometime probably within the first week or 10 days or so in March. But based on the success that we've had so far of virtually all of our auctions, either being record auctions or second best auctions of all time, as we kind of go back in history of all the auctions that we've had so far, knock on wood, and I'm doing it here, man, we are poised to once again have a record year as we're approaching, we're not there yet at $785 million, as we're approaching the $1 billion mark. That's what we're hoping for. That's an aggressive goal, but man, it's there. It's in our sights. It's going to be major party time. It's not if, but when we hit that magic milestone, brother.
Pretty amazing, buddy.
Indeed.
Are there shows from this year that really stand out in your mind that were record setters or revenue setters or things like that from 2024?
You know, I got to mention one auction, Steve, and I got to mention two particular vehicles from that. on behalf of Mecum Auctions, I do a lot of speaking to various groups, car clubs, business meetings, where I talk about the history of Mecum Auctions and kind of fine tune it to obviously to the group. I just have to say that this year it was all about our smallest auction in total car count, but our largest individual auction as far as per dollar car amount. That's our Mecum Monterey auction held during Monterey Historics out in Monterey, California. It's the world celebration of cars. It's not even a week anymore. It goes on for like 11 days now. Mecum's one of the big players out there, and we absolutely killed it there this year, Steve. You know, we go back to 2010, a long time ago at Monterey. We set a record for the single highest priced car ever sold in Mecum Auction. I'll tell you what it was. 1965 Shelby Daytona Cobra, driven to Le Mans victory in its class by none other than racing legend and A-lister Bob Bondurant. Bob Bondurant was there at the auction and drove that car that he drove to victory in 65. This is 2010. He drove that car up onto the auction block and was greeted by Miss Hearst Goldenshifter, Linda Vaughn. We brought her in there. We were longtime friends. She greeted him as he brought the car up, and it brought $7.25 million. Wow. A lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Mecum's all-time single vehicle record all the way from 2010 up until Monterey 2024. Where we absolutely crushed, obliterated that record. Dollar amount, we sold one car. I'll tell you what it is. Sold one car for $17,875,000. It was a 1963 Ferrari 250 GT California. Only 55 were built between 1960 and 1963. It's a holy grail of vintage Ferraris. It absolutely sent shockwaves through the collector car world that Mecum could hit a classic Ferrari out of the ballpark like that. But then, not to show that it's not a fluke, Steve, in the muscle car world, not a Corvette, we sold a 1969 Dodge Daytona Hemi 4-speed F8 green, very well-known car in the Mopar community, regarded as the highest optioned Hemi Daytona in existence. And after a crazy, wild, bitter battle that we covered on TV, it was unbelievable, the action. It hammered for $3 million.
Amazing.
Muscle cars are alive and well, is all I can say to anybody that might think that muscle cars from 50, 60 years ago have passed their prime. Nothing could be further from the truth. Those are a couple of cars that are just going to always stand out in my mind at that auction that had us all shaking our heads. Just so proud to be a part of calling the action on those cars while it was happening. You still hear the excitement, obviously, and the pride in my voice right now.
Yeah, definitely. Talk about some of the significant Corvettes that have crossed the Mecum auction block this year, because I know just recently one of the Corvettes, I think it was an L88, sold for $419,000.
Yeah, you know, as is typical, you know, keep in mind, Steve, Corvette's number one most plentiful vehicle on the Mecum auction block. Number one.
Nice.
Approximately 10% of the total inventory to Mecum Auction are Corvettes. We've got entry-level C4 Corvettes for under $10,000 all the way on to the world's best. You mentioned the L88 at over $400,000. Not unusual to see cars like that at a Mecum Auction. I want to brag, and I want to talk about one sale. The big part of Corvette history and how it's come full circle and where we're at today, recognizing the significance specifically of the Corvette brand after now, 71 years?
Yeah.
Let's go to Mecum Dallas this year, where we had what I'm going to go ahead and call, I'll kind of tip my hat a little bit, the most significant C7 Corvette ever of all time. We all know 2014 to 2019. You as a former owner of a C7 know what a wonderful car that was. Mm-hmm. But it reached its pinnacle with 1 year. 2019, the final year, the ZR1, incredible supercharged 755 horsepower engine available with manuals and automatics, coupes and convertibles. And we know that forever, that car is going to go down in Corvette history as the most potent conventional, which would be front engine Corvette of all time. That car is never going to be repeated. And we know that. And we know that the prices of the ZR1s have been just steadily climbing.
Oh, yeah.
But there's one in particular, Steve, don't know if you caught it or not, one in particular that paid off big time for the visionary owner that ordered this car brand new. He knew it would be the very last C7 Corvette built, which means that it would be the last front engine Corvette ever built. He selected the 7-speed manual transmission, meaning that it was the last manual transmission Corvette ever built.
Right.
Okay. And he ordered it in Arctic white with the red interior to pay homage to the original Corvette from 1953. All 300 of the original Corvettes, 71 years ago, were all polo white with the red interior. He knew that. Obviously, it paid off in a huge way. A lot of speculation on exactly what that car was going to sell for, but bringing well over double the MSRP, about 10 miles on the odometer, by the way, for a car that virtually will never be driven, Steve.
Yeah.
That car is going to be in and out of collections as a showcase of the end of the line of an incredible run, America's sports car. And that was just another thrill to see that car, have some interaction with the owner, how happy he was both before and after the sale. Another example of Mecum just kind of leading the way on significant Corvettes. And with over 400 Corvettes coming up for Kissimmee, we're setting the stage, knock on wood again, for another potential, not only a big Kissimmee, but another big Corvette Kissimmee.
Buddy, I tell you what, that leads me right into the next set of questions. Let's take our final break, John. When we come back, we'll talk about the Corvettes and other significant cars coming up in Mecum Kissimmee 2025. That's next on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With agreed value protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
The National Corvette Restored Society is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. 50 years of affirming and promoting the preservation and restoration of the Corvette. 50 years as the foremost Corvette collector car organization for building value with its prestigious awards. Have you ever considered joining NCRS? Over 70,000 people have. We're so much more than just the nuts and bolts. The NCRS flight judging program can and often does increase the value of America's sports car by researching and publishing the leading tech manuals and judging guides for the 1953 through 2007 Corvettes, by training the best judges and by hosting local, regional, and national judging events. And when you join, you'll get award-winning magazines like Corvette Restore and Driveline all throughout the year. Joining is simple and easy. Just go to ncrs.org and sign up. There are NCRS chapters all throughout the U.S. and all around the world. Chances are there's a local chapter near you. So join NCRS today at ncrs.org. We come for the Corvettes. We stay for the friendships made along the way.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
Hi, I'm Mark Falter, host of the Retirement Income Hour podcast and Corvette enthusiast. I know when I bought my Z06, I was thinking two things. One, these cars are incredible. And two, man, are they expensive. Owning a Corvette isn't just about driving fast. It's about living life in the fast lane. But are your finances keeping up? On my podcast, I make wealth management as smooth as your car on the open road. Whether it's planning your retirement, building your investments, or how to get this retirement account to pay for your Corvette vision, I got you covered. Search for the Retirement Income Hour podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and let's shift your finances into overdrive. I'll see you on the open road, financially and literally.
Investment advisory services offered through Mid-American Wealth Advisory Group, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm.
And now, back to Corvette Today with your host and my husband, Steve Garrett.
Thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. I know you want your Corvette looking its best, so dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty. So visit wheelcraft.com today or give them a call, 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my pal, John Kraman, the Mecum Auction TV host. We are talking about Mecum Kissimmee 2025 coming up John, first off, let's talk about some of the significant Corvettes that are going to be crossing the auction block at Mecum Kissimmee 2025.
Yeah, no shortage of really cool high-end Corvettes. One of our main attractions is the very last L72, legendary 427, 425 horsepower engine. It was the first year of the 427 with its availability in the Corvette. Big block was 65 with the 396, but it grew up. Even to this day, that L72 425 horsepower 427 has a mystique in the Corvette world. And we've got the very last 66 convertible that was built. It's been through NCRS judging and all that stuff. It's a great color in red. It's obviously fully restored. That's one that gets my attention. But even more so, Steve, even more so than that are the incredible Corvette collections that we've got coming now. We've got over 30 distinct collections, and we're talking everything literally from A to Z, pre-war classics, 50s, customs, contemporary performance cars, European exotics from virtually all generations. But man, we've got some Corvette collections that are almost too good to be true. You know, one of the real hot markets today in not only just the Corvette world, but in the overall collector car world is the split window Corvette. 1 year only, 1963, the debut of the coupe. We've got a collection coming to Kissimmee called the Split Window Colorama 2 collection that's got about a dozen split window Corvettes that represent some of the best of the world. I mean, we're talking about fuel injected versions. We're talking about a variety of colors, air conditioning, which made its debut in the Corvette in 1963. Under 300 were built. I mean, it's a rare option. There's actually 2 of those cars with air conditioning, even one with the down market base engine that's rarely seen. Can you believe it? A modest 250 horsepower 350. That was the standard base engine in the Corvette in 1963, rarely seen out of a variety of higher horsepower engines. It usually got those option boxes checked off.
Yeah.
I can tell you that collection is going to get a massive amount of attention, in addition to other collections that have a wide variety of Corvettes from virtually all generations, generation 1 all the way through the current day. And I just want to say that a lot of people, Steve, we're talking about Corvettes and the Corvette market, how well it's doing. A lot of these conversations go to the C8. You've got one, I've got one. We pay a little bit more attention to the market as a result of that, but I know mine's not for sale. I don't think yours is either.
No, sir.
But the reality is this. Right now, Chevrolet is approaching near record volume sales levels annually, you know, in the 50,000 car range.
Right.
They are pumping these cars out, and there's a lot of availability right now, which I consider to be a very good thing. The good news for a potential C8 buyer is this is a really super good time to buy a C8.
Oh, yeah.
The prices have settled. They're right in line. And I just wanted to, as a C8 enthusiast, and I love mine like you do yours, just let folks know that if you're thinking about a C8 Corvette, new or pre-owned, man, this is the time to buy because the prices definitely are down to a level that not only makes it more affordable, but overall makes it easier to get into and easier to justify than obviously the over MSRP and the huge premiums that we saw in the early years of the C8 Corvette, which of course began in 2020. Now is the time to buy a C8.
There's some great pricing out there, buddy.
Indeed.
How about some of the significant non-Corvettes coming up?
Obviously, Steve, no shortage of those as well. But, you know, man, I talked about at Monterey 24, the record of that 63 Ferrari 250 GT at just under $18 million. Man, we've got the potential to break that at Mecum Kissimmee and to smash it by a wide margin. Perhaps the most significant collector car of all time. Don't even necessarily have to be a Corvette enthusiast to understand what the significance of this particular car is. And of course, that is the 1969 Porsche 917K, Steve McQueen's hero car from the movie Le Mans, the number 20 car. It is the real deal. It is totally documented. No questions about the history or the pedigree of this car. The movie was a sensation when it came out. Today, it's a cult favorite. The 917 dominated the world sports car racing beginning in 69 and running through really the mid-1970s, including Can-Am racing here in the U.S. It's a landmark car. This specific car puts it at the very highest level because it's part of American pop culture, totally expecting that car to hammer at a number that would be a new all-time Mecum record. We're actually doing a television special, don't know the air date yet, on that car and the history of it that will be airing on Motor Trend TV. In addition to that, something a little bit more affordable and more whimsical, but it's also a pop culture celebrity connection. How about the 1967 Jaguar E-Type, the Jaguar Roadster? It was featured in all three of the Austin Power movies. The Union Jack painted up Jaguar Roadster that Austin Powers cruised around in, did his escapades in. Again, the car, ironclad documented, not going to be put on the same kind of pedestal, obviously, as the 917K, but certainly it's going to be a few levels more affordable. And then everything from Shelby Cobras to Ferraris to, again, high-end Corvettes of all generations. The list and the quality of the cars that we put under what we call, Steve, our main attraction banner, which can be looked up at Mecum.com, will give folks a chance to see and put their finger on the pulse of literally some of the world's best collector cars coming to the world's largest collector car auction. Everything is in place, my friend, to have another record event, and I'm so glad that you and Keith are going to be there with some folks from Corvette Today. I'll obviously be there on the TV side of things, and thousands of folks there soaking up the Florida sun in the middle of winter and living the good life, brother.
Can't wait, buddy. I can't wait. Hey, John, you talked about some of the collections coming across the block.
Yeah.
There's some really good ones. The Michael J. collection, Bill and Patty Sperling have a collection that are coming to the auction block. Are there any other significant ones that stand out in your mind?
Yeah, lots of them, Steve. It's just incredible what's happening with these collections. And let me tell you why collections are so important. Generally speaking, these are all high-end collectors, the ones that you mentioned, in addition to many more, Butch Lindley and my pal who's passed away, Cliff Ernst. I mean, more, like I say, 30 collections. But these cars from these A-list collectors represent really the finest, carefully selected, most important individual cars of their category coming to Mecum Kissimmee en masse. And what happens is once we do a good job with a high-end collection, it draws others that want to get on board with the same thing.
Right.
And it's typically a collector waiting for a high point in the collector car world to maybe sell their collection. Maybe they've kind of aged out to the point where they want to be a part of the promotion and the sale of that collection. Or in some cases, and we work with consigners for years to get to this point, that are coming out of estates. And this is all part of the Mecum strategy as we move forward to continue to grow and to offer phenomenal cars to our bidder base. As time marches on, every Mecum auction has collections, but none have the sheer volume of high-end collections that we do at Mecum Kissimmee. That includes everything I mentioned earlier, Corvettes and pre-war classics and Duesenbergs. Over 100 years of automotive history are represented in all of these collections. Even if somebody's not a buyer, you watch it on TV, I recommend going to the auction. I call it a car show with a pulse. It's unlike any car show anybody's ever attended. The cars that are moving, the action that occurs both on the auction block and just with the cars moving around the venue, talking with the owners, talking with other enthusiasts. It's more than just a collector car auction. It's a true happening, and you and I are going to be there to take it all in, brother.
Buddy, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. All right, John, let's wrap it up. Where can people preview everything coming up for the Kissimmee show?
Easy peasy, Steve. Mecum.com for so much information. It is so easy to navigate the website, look at things, and I just want to do another pitch to join up as a Mecum My Mecum member, which is totally free, gives you an insider look at what's happening with Mecum, including all of the results. And I mentioned results, whether it be what the sale amount was or what the high bid was. All of that information is disclosed, and it's available to everybody for free. And I consider it to be the number one source for looking at comparable sales. We talk about appraisers and guidebooks and people's opinions, but the bottom line is if you go to Mecum.com, log into your My Mecum account, you're able to easily navigate through the system with a lot of drop-down boxes. I'm not a computer guy. I can click through it and pull up vehicles and spend unlimited amount of hours you can spend on there looking at great cars, pictures, descriptions, what they sold for, or what the high bid was. In addition, Steve, to everything else that's coming to the Mecum auctions in the future. It's awesome, buddy.
That is awesome, and it is easy peasy for sure. Mecum.com. Buddy, thank you so much for taking the time to be on Corvette Today. I am super excited about coming down to Kissimmee to hang out with you and everybody else at the show.
Well, we appreciate, Steve, your interest and your enthusiasm. Man, we'll see you down there.
Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today. And be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today show. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-639-4231. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Ciocca Corvette at CIOCCACorvette.com. E5 Wheels at E5Wheels.com. IntelliSense at IntelliSense.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. Racing Sport Concepts at RacingSportConcepts.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. If you'd like to contact Steve with ideas for Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Also, sign up for email notifications at corvettetoday.ck.page. Follow Steve and the show on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Threads at Steve Garrett DJ. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today.